Well, howdy friends, Brian Flechsig, Matter for Outfitters in the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools, and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. And today we have yet again as our special guest, Tim Flagler. Tim, welcome back.
Good to be here, Brian.
Yeah.
As always.
It's always a pleasure to have Tim in our studio, which today we're coming at you from the mobile studio. We're located in central Pennsylvania at the famous Jimmy Carter cabin on the property of Mr. Wayne Harpster.
Yep.
And we just had a chance to talk to Wayne, and what a pleasure that is, and a pleasure to be here. So let's jump right in, Tim. And, a couple of weeks before we came on this trip, I got my hands on the new book called Pheasant Tail Simplicity.
Yeah, can't wait to get my hands on my copy.
Well, guess what? This is your copy.
No, you don't have to do that.
No.
Oh, you do own a big fly shop, don't you?
I don't have to do anything.
I want to take that book.
This is your book. And if it does anything for you, it's full of lots of great stories, tips. There's some rigging stuff. And then just as the title says, Pheasant Tail Simplicity. And it's really cool. Yvonne Chenard kind of does the soft tackles and wet flies. Mara Mazza does the nymph kind of side of things, and Craig Matthews, of course, does the dry fly side of things. And so it's a very well done book. It's a beautiful book, and it inspired me, knowing that I was coming here to fish with you.
Wow!
This is about 2 weeks worth of work, and I want to talk to you about this, but. About this kind of new, we'll call it Brian's version of the pheasant tail.
Okay, that shiny, shiny wing case, I guess
just
you'd
come
say.
up with and a new material. But you know that I'm a soft tackle and a wet fly guy.
Yep.
I fish soft tackles virtually every day that I trout fish, and I tie tons and tons of them. But I thought it would be neat, and we just did this on the YouTube channel sometime in the fall of 2025. But why not do it again? Because the cool thing about fly tying is when I tie a pheasant tail soft tackle, it's going to look like Brian's. When you tie one, it's going to look like Tim's.
Yeah.
And and it's even maybe using very similar, if not the same materials. They're going to come out as slightly different looking fish.
Slightly different techniques for tying them. And
And so I always like to see, even though it's the same pattern, I like to see a different take on it and see what you might do, because I always learn, no matter who the tyer is, but let's face it, you are a teacher.
That's scary. Well, thank you very much for the fly box and the book.
And
I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that to you.
You get the book. You get the book.
Oh, all right. I'll leave it over there. We'll keep it out of the way.
So let's tie a pheasant tail soft tackle and teach me something, oh teacher.
Oh, okay. So it's really very, very simple. It's like any other soft tackle. But pheasant tail is going to be the tail and the body of the fly. Mm-hmm. Okay, little peacock curl to make it kind of an American pheasant tail for the thorax, and then I just do you can use Hungarian partridge, all sorts of things, but I like a hen.
Yeah.
For the soft tackle.
I use just these cheap hen back patches from Wapsie. Yours is beautiful.
Oh, well, see, I'm going to show this one off. You can probably tell it's been used heavily.
Yes, but that is gorgeous.
Yeah, this is from my buddy right out here in Pennsylvania, Evan Brandt out at Sidling Hill Hackle. This is a hen saddle that is...
it's gorgeous.
Just seeing the skin on here scares me, because this thing... It's going away, and I don't want it to.
This hen is from a trailer park.
Yeah. This one is Upper East Side. Thing of beauty.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have in the vise. This is a size 12, so fairly large soft tackle, but it's a Fulling Mill 5085. It's barbless, black nickel, real kind of sexy looking hook, if you will.
And that's a 2X long shank.
Yeah, yep.
So a 2X long shank, standard nymph hook, that's exactly what I tie all of my soft tackles on, is a 2X long shank.
And this is UTC 70 denier in a brown, and get the thread started on the hook shank. Now, everybody seems to have a different order for tying in materials, but I'm gonna use some small gold ultra wire, and I'm going to tie this in on the near side of the hook, and I'll tell you why later. And so I kind of hold it toward me, and because the thread wants to push it up on top and to the far side, I kind of hold it out at an angle like this, just to keep that on the near side of the hook. Wind that down. Now, I used to do this as well. I'd look at the pheasant tail and go, oh, you know, I want some for my tails. And wow, I need these long fibers so it can be both the tails and the body. You can do that if you like, but to me, there's no reason to tie them. Take some of these smaller ones up here, okay? Use these for the tail. I know it wastes a little bit of material. It just makes things so much easier to tie, to me anyway, to tie in the tail and the body as separate materials. I do like a shorter tail than most people.
Yeah, you do.
That's a matter of personal style. And again, if you look at yours, you look at mine, that would be sort of a signature for me. To get these to land on top of the hook shank, I like to pull up and toward me just a little bit, because your thread pressure wants to push them to the far side. So if you pull up and toward you, these thread wraps plant them right on top of the hook shank. You don't get that one or two fibers that want to point down the far side, and you can never get them back. The other thing kind of interesting with pheasant tail is most of the time you can just break these guys off, and it breaks them off nice and clean and short. We're not worried about them. But for the body, I really do, from this male pheasant or cockbird, I want the nice long ones. I'm going to grab, this is Brian's feather, so I'm going to take the best ones off of here.
I brought it for you.
Get rid of the shorts, the curlies, just so they don't snag on anything. And because the tips are fairly brittle, and this is nice and long, I'm just going to snip those off. Give my bobbin a little counterclockwise spin. That's going to cause my thread to jump rearward and catch those very tips. And just bind it down rearward. Nice, hard pressure, even wraps all the way back. Now, tip for you guys. A lot of people would wind their tying thread forward right now and just go like this and then wind these fibers. I really like to take the fibers and wind behind my tying thread, because what that does is it keeps those fibers all sandwiched together. I know you guys have seen me do this before. You don't get one that wants to run up the shank before all the others. And this way you get this beautiful, nice, even body. All those little flues stick out. One of the great things about pheasant tail are those little flues that kind of look like gills almost. And you also get this unbelievable mottled natural appearance like the naturals have. You know, they're not all just brown. They're browns and blacks and tans all mixed in. And that's what, to me, that's what makes pheasant tail the perfect fly tying material. It's built in.
Coupled with hen saddle.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's hardly a better combination. And
Yep. All supernatural looking, small markings to them. It's just great. But this is very delicate stuff, okay? When a trout gets its tooth in there, the whole thing's going to go sprung. So we use the gold wire, not just to add some segmentation, but for durability. And since I tied the pheasant tail on normally going this way, I'm going to counter wrap the rib. And that's why I tied it in on this side of the hook. So my first wrap doesn't hit those tail fibers.
Yep.
And get them all cattywampus.
That's a good tip.
And so I'm going to go 5 times around, 5 segments back there. That's the fifth one.
Industry standard.
Yeah, it will not work with 6 or 4. I'm convinced. Also, here's the problem. I'm coming this way with the wire, this way with the thread. If I anchor this, it's going to want to push it there. It's a loose connection. So what I do is it's a little weird. I take my tying thread and go around the wire to switch direction of thread wrap. So now I'm counter wrapping with my tying thread. Did you get that?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's my tip of the day. Actually, I've not gotten a couple, and I tie hundreds of these, and you've just taught me a couple of things.
Well, that's great.
That is so cool.
So to get my thread wrap back to normal, I go around the wire again, and my thread wrap comes back to normal. I can then just take that wire, helicopter to break it off close, like that.
And because of that, that final wrap is not going cattywampus on you.
Yeah, you got it?
I got it.
Okay.
Don't look at my cattywampus ribs.
So for the body, and this is an American pheasant tail thing using peacock herl, and kind of the same thing is with the pheasant tail fibers. There's a lot of iridescence and color and these little teeny flues sticking out. Again, I'm going to tie in tip ends, snip them off, give my bobbin a counterclockwise spin. And just as I did with the pheasant tail fibers, I'm going to wind my tying thread back to that tie-in location and wrap behind my tying thread to keep those herls nicely sandwiched together.
So as you're wrapping the peacock curl, it's pushing the thread forward along with your wraps.
Right, on the underside of the hook. The other thing, if you watch real closely, when you go past your tying thread, it fluffs those little flues out.
Yeah.
So you get a really like full looking, body. Here, a thorax. I don't want that tail sticking down. I know that's kind of crazy. This I am going to snip off. You can break these off too if you want. And so very simple to do. We got tail, abdomen, thorax, rib, all right there, all looking good. Last step is the soft hackle. But the biggest part with this is having the correct size feather and prepping it correctly. What I do is I'll start pulling down fibers here. This is a rather large fly. And then I'll measure. I like it to go from the back edge of the hook eye just to the point. Okay, so these are still a little long. I keep on pulling down, testing, I'm getting there. Okay, and we just don't need that many fibers for these things. I like mine a little thicker than, say, a North Country Spider.
I do too.
Just more volume than that. But once I have that length established, I'm going to grip the tip, and I don't know. I'm going to say at least a dozen fibers on both sides. That's where we were. I'm going to strip off a few just to keep these separate. I hope you guys can see that. I'm just stripping off the lower fibers. I'm going to pull those down, dozen on either side. And as I get older, my hands are not as steady as they used to be.
Yeah.
I find myself using my hand on my vise, going like this so I get that part steadied. And then to steady the scissors, rather than being out here driving all over the place, I use the back edge of the hook eye to brace my scissors. And then I can snip just the teeniest of triangles. Old age is terrible, Brian. Little counterclockwise spin again, and jump rearward and catch that very triangle. Wind forward to the back edge of the hook eye. And I like to bend these fibers, bend the stem. Take the stem and bend it down through my fingers like that. And I don't know what the dynamic here is, but you do this just a few times, and all of a sudden you've got them folded back.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool trick too.
Yeah, bending the stem, and then you can just wrap. Usually it's about 1.5 to 2 turns. If you've got it right. That was a full 2, but it's looking pretty good.
That looks real good.
Get that anchored. And one of the important things, whether we like it or not, when other people look at your flies, you're judged on the quality of the head of that fly.
No question.
If it's big, long, and lumpy, not good. So once everything is covered up to your satisfaction, like right there, stop wrapping, get your thread back to the soft hackle, and Then just grab your whip finish tool, always a back to front whip finish. That's the only way to make a really good whip finish knot. Keep that head short, thin, small. Again, I have a little chisel on the back of my Monterelli. Pop it. Good to go. Now, on these, you can put a drop of head cement on there if you want, but if it's a good whip finish, oftentimes it's not necessary.
Right.
So
a lot of times what I find is the glue will kind of sometimes soak into those feathers and make them not splay as properly.
Right. And it kind of, sometimes it discolors the base of the feather a little bit. Yeah. So I tend to leave these natural. It's not going to last forever, but, you know, just a beautiful fly in the round. And honestly, cheap materials, they're all natural. The only thing really man-made on there is the wire and the hook.
Yeah. Well, that is a beautiful specimen there. I mean, mine are not quite as pretty and clean as yours, but they still catch fish. But here's one thing that I wanted to show you, and this is these are just an American pheasant tail, but look at that wing case.
Wow!
Look at the depth on that. So, and this is the cool thing about fly tying. And so here is my light colored version. Look at that.
Yeah, but I like that. What's the dubbing for the thorax?
I'm using, so I wanted to show you this because it's a new material. So I'm using Ice Dub Peacock.
Okay.
Is the dubbing on the dark version. And then I'm using Ice Dub UV Cinnamon on the light version.
Oh, very nice.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I love the dark version, Brian.
But yeah, the dark version is special.
So this is going to come with the book and the fly box, right?
Yeah. So here's the material. So I instead of using peacock herl for my thorax and then pheasant tail on the wing case, like an American pheasant.
Okay.
I'm using the Ice Dub, and then for the light version over top of the cinnamon, this stuff is called fish flash, and I also think it's referred to as Creelex. So it's that
really like the Creelex material.
Yeah. And so Montana Fly Company, I think, is coming out with Chuck Craft's flies.
Okay.
A reissuing Chuck Craft's flies. And so they're now selling this Creelex fish flash, which makes some amazing bait fish imitations. But I've been using it for
wing cases.
I make the wing case out of this, and this one is called the Copper Pearl. Just look at the different colors in there.
Oh yeah,
isn't that amazing? And then for the dark version, I'm using this color called Olive Brown. And this is also equally sexy. Oh. Yeah. Look at those colors.
Wow.
I mean, you got olive, you got black, you got brown, you got some almost like some natural
blues too in there. Yeah, weird.
It is I have yet to try any streamers with it. But it's just going to be whether a full wing itself or an addition to the wing. And then you also see that it takes on a little bit of the green even of the dubbing.
Yeah. Now you have a drop of UV cure resin or something on top of there.
I do.
Yeah,
I know your sensitivity to UV, so
yeah. But, and then the hen feathers for the legs.
Some of the versions I'll use tips.
Okay.
For the legs. But for these versions, I just wrapped basically the same thing you just did. And then when I finish the fly, I just pull them to the underside, a whip finish so they stay in place. And that just gives me the legs on the underside.
Looks great, Brian. Really does.
I think it's a really neat, and I'm going to show this one on video and show these materials. But again, that's Montana Fly Company Fish Flash, or also called the Creelex Fish Flash. And I think it's just added a new dimension to, and this is the first I've used it, but I could see this going on almost any nymph, a little tiny blowing olive nymph, or just a variety of different nymphs that I think this is going to be a killer on. And then I did a cat, more or less. I was trying to do a scud, but it turned out to be, I think, a caddis larva.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and it's got the slightly darker back, and then I did also a light version and a dark version.
Very nice.
And so that one, I think I'm going to morph into just adding a peacock curl at the head to give me that dark head for
more caddisy.
More caddisy. Yeah, so some cool new stuff, and it just goes to show that with fly tying, it's never, ever ending.
No, it's not. And to me, there is never, ever a only way to do a fly.
No, like I said, I mean, you just tied a very pretty, proper. Mine are sloppy looking in comparison to yours.
No, but they're practical flies,
and they catch fish.
Then they catch fish, yeah, and this is. I mean, it might be more proper, but that doesn't mean anything to the fish. So that's a human construct, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay. Well, there you have it, friends. A little bit of Pheasant Tail Simplicity with our dear friend Tim Flagler. And as always, we appreciate you being here. Tim, we appreciate you being here.
Oh, it's great to hang out with you for a couple of days, fish with you. And
this has been fun.
Yeah, it has been a fun time.
Yeah. Well, we look forward, as always, to Tim's visits to Columbus. One of these days, we might go up there to New Jersey if we'd be allowed. And if not, we're going to meet right here in the middle here at Spruce Creek in central Pennsylvania. So, as always, friends, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That really helps us out. Hit the like button. That makes us feel good. And stay tuned. We've got a ton more fly fishing and fly tying content coming your way.